Hey, y'all. Good to see y'all again. I'm going to go over this live here in a second. Let me say hi. Sleuths and smooth criminals. I can't even talk. Oh, good. I'm glad you're covering it too. I don't know, guys. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Cutie Pie, Grandma Sherry, Julie, Stella Bella, Amethyst, Kitten Claus. All right, y'all. I'm not going to keep you guys super long, but I want to address this because once again, just absolute insanity out here as normal. But let me play the intro.
You're beautiful but unsatisfied since day one. You were getting teased and it scarred you when you were young. Now you're getting older and you've been on the grind. Your paper off the scale so you feel like it's time. So you got a no job, that's the primary thing. People tease you as a kid and for some reason you hit. Always into high fashion, girl, you heavy like lead. Liposuction out your shell like a chicken and egg. Feeling confident but now you're becoming obsessed. First your nose, then your weight, now your butt and your breast. It's a vanity fair, cosmetic overdose. Fiending for a next operation like it was dope. Now you feel the need to skin pill, your skin's no good. But if those around you were real, they'll tell you the truth. Just because you spending thousands, that don't make it alright. Had one problem, now it's many going under the knife. Your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. I said your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. Come on. Vanity Fair, yeah. Changing one or two things, cool girl, do you? Do you wanna be beautiful and look like you? Or do you wanna look like someone you saw in a magazine, a video, but not in the raw? I like nice shaped bodies, bikinis Brazilian, but too much of anything just isn't appealing. Some people spend a lifetime, even a million. No grace like those unhappy when chilling. A girl with a big butt, big lips, small hips is what we all love to see, and men dream about this. There is nothing wrong with getting something broken fixed. Some women get a breast job cause cancer resists. Some women want to please their man and insist. And a woman really loves you if she wants to do this. But abuse ain't the same as intention was cared. So be careful of the drug called the Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair. Your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. I said your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. Your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. I said your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, faceline, look at your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. Come on.
Okay. For some reason, this thing is being wonky again. Let me see. All right. Michelle, Amethyst, Miss Lee, Cool Gamer, Wanderlust, Stella, Starry Night, Just Observing, Let's Be Honest, Laura, Clover, TLC, It's Me, Sheila, Grandma Sherry again, Remy, Kathy P, Valerie T, Cutie Pie. Did I miss anybody? Marcy, Revival, Mama Shmita, Kara, Clemson Girl, T. I can't wait till I get settled and get to use the new intro. I love the new intro song, probably more than I love this one. Stargazer, T, Zoya, good to see all you. Glory, hey Matt, Nancy Smith, Anonymous, Grace B, Grain, Sending Good Karma, Gina, Dazed Not Confused, Dazed and Confused, not the creator. I was Days Bot Confused. Look at me going. Gina, rock a bit. Pointer Lover, Mama Bear. All right, I think I got everybody. Thank you guys for joining me. Impromptu evening one. Hey, Julie. So what I want to discuss is Zab Girl. Those of you that don't know what's been going on here, I'm sure everybody does know what's going on. Zab Girl she put some autopsy photos of an 11-year-old child behind a paywall in her Patreon for $3. So she has decided that she's coming back to YouTube, I guess. Not shocking. This is kind of how things go. Unfortunately, this isn't really anything that I think we didn't expect. One thing I will say for me, I'm shocked at how arrogant she sounds about coming back to YouTube and the issues. So I'm going to play a little bit. I'm going to play a couple minutes at the beginning and a couple minutes at the end of this video. And we're going to talk about a few things. I'm not going to keep you guys for a long time. I just want people to understand that this is pretty typical. Zab Girl isn't really any different than any of the rest of them out here doing the same bullshit. They have zero consequences for their actions. Hey, Periwinkle, everybody coming in. Thank you for joining me. I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, it just continues to happen. So let's go ahead and play this. This is under fair use. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I will be pausing because she's kind of a petty one.
I don't even know how to do this anymore. Hey guys, can you hear us?
Unfortunately, yes.
Juliet, say something. See if
oh yeah, I'm here. Hey everyone.
Hey, I missed you guys. How is everybody doing? Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you guys. You're the best.
Wait, am I on? Okay, because I have my YouTube site up and it just now went on now.
Yeah, you have to refresh it apparently, but it used to not do that, I think.
Okay, cool. So what's up, everybody? What's been going on in the true crime world the last few weeks?
Like she doesn't know. And I find it really interesting how she just laughs about it. You know, this was an 11-year-old child who suffered a horrific crime. Now, again, that is one situation that Zab Girl has been involved in. But Zab Girl herself, the people we've been talking about recently, like Tyler Feller, Jim Terry, those are her buddies too. They have passed off so much egregious misinformation on so many cases and don't give two shits about it. They leave their videos up, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. Let's listen a little bit further. Oh, so funny, right?
Anything juicy? Any gossip?
Yeah.
I find this to be just pure, utter disgusting. They come back in and think it's fucking hysterical. Cool.
Oh my God. Hi, Crime Doll. Hey, Payday Dave. Adelina, thanks for coming.
Hey, Ashley.
Where's Ashley? I don't see it. Oh, Ashley. There you are, Ashley. Princess Megan Elsa. Wow, thank you guys for coming. I wasn't even I was like, man, I wasn't even knowing if anybody would actually show up. Like, anybody gonna come? But I'm glad. I missed you guys. I missed true crime. But yeah, I just took a few weeks off. Got to see Juliet a few times. That was nice. How many of you guys have been following? I know it's basically over. She's gonna be getting sentenced in September, the end of September, I believe. But how many of you watched the Taylor Business trial? Because I was watching it here quietly by myself here at home. How many?
Yes, this is from 3 nights ago.
How many of you guys watched it? It was the quickest trial I've ever seen in my life. Like, I was like, what is going on? Like, I was thinking it would be longer. And since I was like behind watching it, I saw this video that says something about verdict because I was behind, and I'm like, oh, they must have screwed up. They must have thought, like I thought that they were wrong because I was behind a couple days. And then I was like, wait, they did reach the verdict, but by the end of the first week, it's crazy. And then the insanity, like she, was going for the insanity defense, and that was like one day. I mean, they were quick. The jury was like not messing around, man. I would have loved to do an open panel for this one, but I thought it over in my head, and I just think maybe it wouldn't be the best idea for my first live back for a while, because I want to know how you guys feel about that. Do you guys feel like I know it's
Like
obviously she was
fast
guilty,
or not?
but what's that?
All right, I'm fast forwarding already because I can't stand it. She opens this up, thinks it's all cute, funny. So we're going to go through the end. I didn't even give two shits to listen to all this babble throughout this live because, well, if I would have, I might have punched somebody. So we're going to fast forward to the end.
Oh, I wouldn't have recognized it because here, I'll put the link for, they did when I was talking about it.
I think so.
Hold on. She gets going here in a second. Oh yeah, hold on. Let me get to where, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know what, like, I can't, it's one of those things where I can't put it into words.
We're fast forwarding to the end of this video. I don't care about the middle. She goes over the Taylor Business trial. That's what she uses. And then she goes into this.
It's like there's something that I'm seeing that where I just don't believe she really wants to get that.
I think that's her girlfriend.
Yeah, that's what he was. Yeah, he was saying like the same thing. Like he doesn't see that she.
Maybe because there was no buildup. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean that's what he's pointing out. How there's nothing. How she's sitting there like trying to be not noticed and sitting there like so calm, and then all of a sudden, and there's no like. You know, when you're mad and you really want to, hurt somebody, there would be more like things to see.
Yeah, even more, for a crazy person, there would.
Yeah,
something. See, it might be shorter, but it'll be there.
I was looking at it wrong. I mean, maybe I'm not wrong on some occasions, but I was looking at it because of that she seemed crazy because she just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I get that. And I guess if she was faking it, maybe she's thinking the same thing, like in order to appear as a crazy person.
They're talking about Taylor Business.
Have to do it out of nowhere. But I think, in my opinion, I could be wrong about this. I think there would, even for a crazy person, there would be less of a buildup to that point, but you would still see something ahead of time.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe. No, I could see that too. Well, I'm trying to find Dr. Okay, his name is Dr. G Explains.
Hold on, let me go a little bit forward because.
So me and Juliet, well, actually, you're doing it separate, but I don't know. I almost feel like maybe I shouldn't, huh?
Yeah, well, you could think about it.
Oh, I've got a response for that one too. I'll wait on that one though.
So I know
I'm definitely going to address things. I'll say on my channel, I'm going to address some stuff just because it's interesting. And
so Juliet's going to address some stuff on her channel. I don't know who she is besides she's either a friend or the girlfriend of Zab. Totally fine. Not cutting anything there. Just trying to give context of what's going on.
And there are still some people, I know what was bothering you was that there are some people who seem to think that you did something you didn't do because there are so many lies going around.
Yeah, you guys were talking about the whole thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
We're talking about the whole thing with the Gannon autopsy photos and stuff.
Listen to how she refers to him. The whole Gannon autopsy. How much respect could you even, like, she could have given so much respect to this family and she didn't even give two shits. Zero respect given to this family by this one.
I do want to address some things and like
go ahead.
I wanted to do I would love to do an open panel, but I am a little afraid just because I'm afraid of like just trolls coming in to like ruin the live stream.
She's afraid of trolls coming in to ruin the live stream. You mean you're afraid of getting questioned on your actions?
Because I'm afraid of like, you guys having like hard questions or serious questions or coming at me. That's fine. But people could ruin whole live streams by doing like those bombs and stuff. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I do want to answer and clear up some of the misinformation going around about it because I'm hearing so much stuff and I just want the whole truth to be out and exactly what happened and what it is.
I don't know what needs to be out there anymore. You put private autopsy photos that you requested from the Colorado courts that you paid for. You felt ripped off by those records. Then you put them behind a paywall in Patreon for $3 because you knew it was against terms of service on YouTube. Again, don't worry. I'm going to pull up her own words here in a minute because a lot of people missed that video that I did. And I think it's very important considering this response. So let's get through this and then I'll show you some of her words.
And so
and there's a lot, like, for those of you who like do
perfect,
like who have been around and maybe you just aren't online that much, like you might have missed some of like the craziness of it. And it definitely took a turn at a certain point where it just got, in my opinion, just ridiculous. And unfortunately, this is something that comes with the internet, and it could happen to you.
It's unfortunate. It just comes with the internet. Zero accountability, zero recognizing that this was from Zab's actions, that there were consequences for her actions. No accountability at all.
Happen to someone else you care about. And it's good to familiarize yourself with it, because it definitely changed. Like the issue at the beginning wasn't even there anymore, and it just changed into
the issue at the beginning wasn't even there anymore. For most of us, that was the entire issue, and it still stands to be the issue, along with Zab's own behavior. That's the problem here, is the lack of accountability and the fact that she advertised her Patreon by promoting these autopsy photos for a week in advance before she ever even released them. Yeah. Don't take my word for it, though. You'll get to hear hers in a minute.
Something completely different and just absolutely
thanks for joining me.
Crazy. But I've never dealt with anything like that before, so it was an experience even for me. I know it was for you.
My eyes to a lot of things. Like, wow, like I feel like I learned a lot through all that. And the reason I want to do a video is just to get the misinformation, because there's still stuff, like even Randy, I talked to Randy and he's asking me questions, like some of the questions I want to answer. And it's just like, no, that's not.
Somebody that used to sit on panel with her in the very beginning and helped build her channel is asking her the same questions that all of us have. But no, it's not her. She's the victim. Poor Zab. How often does this stuff happen to? Somehow in this society that we live in the YouTube world that we live in, these people somehow become the victim of their own circumstances. Things that they have created by their own bad behavior, somehow they feel that they're the victims. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? I mean, you don't have to take my word for it. You can listen to her own words. She has just completely disregarded what she did.
And isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
Just a little too ironic.
Not true, or that's not true. Some of this stuff, it's like it's misinformation going around about it. And I'll take accountability for what I did, but I want it to be what I did and not like lies. You know what I'm saying?
Listen to her snarkiness throughout this.
And I want the truth to be out there, and people are twisting things and they're just not telling it accurately. So I just, like I said, I'll take accountability, but I want it to be for what is the truth and what I did, and not all this other stuff that's got blown way out of proportion. Yeah. And so I want to figure out a way where I can do a panel in a way where people can ask me any other questions they have. And I'll be 100% honest. Like, ask me whatever.
I wouldn't expect her to be honest about anything. If you go back through her channel, I think she has a very hard time with what honesty even looks like.
I have nothing to hide. But I don't know how to go about doing that where we don't get like a bunch of crazy people. Does anybody have any like?
So we're crazy people if we're questioning her motives or her behavior around what she did. We're the crazy people.
Recommendations? I don't know. Or do you think I should just either that, or I'm going to
soul? Maybe start there. Maybe try having a soul, because you're snarky little laughing this off, even if it's a nervous twitch or whatever you're dealing with right now, it ain't cute. And the lack of respect that you're showing for Gannon's family is disturbing.
Gonna have to just like take questions from people in the chat, like read them. But I feel like it might be better to let people up. But I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it, because I want everybody's voice. Like, anybody has a problem with me, if you want to yell at me, if you want to ask me, but as long as, just get it all out. But I want to be able to answer all the questions, and I want to be able to, say what happened, and you can hear it right from me. I don't know. I don't know how to do it, but I'm planning on doing it this next weekend is when I
That would be this coming weekend.
really want to do it. So
She's got to get her channel going again. So how does that happen? You have an open panel, you let people come in. She's going to get clicks and views out of it. She knows how to restart the channel. In my opinion, that's all she's doing is trying to get back in the algorithm. So by having a panel like that, she'll guaranteed to get back in the algorithm because people will absolutely go in there and question her. She won't tell you the truth. She won't give you any answers, but that's my opinion on what she's trying to do.
yeah, so I got to figure that out. But and then Juliet, go ahead. You're going to do a video. You said what?
I want to do a video too, and I noticed I just saw in chat some of you guys mentioning Brian Ensign. I'm going to talk about the Brian Ensign thing also, because
3 days ago
they have some I was going to say insider information about it, which sounds way more exciting than it actually is. But yeah, not a good person apparently. So,
I know.
Because Brian Enton was the reporter that actually broke this on mainstream media. Now they're targeting him. Oh, he's not a good guy because he put it out there publicly what she did to the mainstream media because he cares about families and the victims. But instead of taking accountability for anything she does, they're going to expose Brian Enton and what a bad person he is. Deflection 101. Don't take accountability what your actions caused. Let's just shift the blame. Complete deflection.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
disappointed me. Yeah, I
I
definitely.
wasn't, some big fan of his prior to that, but I always heard other people talk about how great he is. So I was blown away. But there's some information that you guys might not know.
There's some information you guys might not know, even though it has nothing to do with anything besides somebody exposing Zab Girl. So this is their revenge seeking. Brian Enton actually stands for the victims and their families, actually brought the family members on to discuss how you made them feel. Why don't you want to talk about that, Zab? You don't want to talk about how the family actually felt? You just want to have your buddy here expose Brian Enton because you think that's somehow going to get you back in the good graces of what? Your foul, vile, disgusting misinformation spreading that you've done since you've been on YouTube. This is one little incident. You've been involved in so many others, especially Kylie Rodney. You had a big hand in the misinformation being spread there. It's unfortunate that you're not named in that same lawsuit that Ryan Upchurch is, in my opinion.
That I'm going to touch on about him. Just to give people a heads up, not to like drag him or whatever, because I'm going to just be open.
Oh, we have a visitor. Hold on. There you go.
Hello.
Kyle's popping in and saying hi. He doesn't know much about this one. But he'll interject if he has anything.
And honest about it. I'm not trying to be dramatic about anything, but
Darksy, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Brian Enton was somebody that I trusted for my information, my true crime information. I thought he was credible. I thought for sure he fact checks on his cases.
That's where you went wrong, because if you're thinking that anybody is factual and you're not doing your own due diligence, you shouldn't be in true crime anyways. I mean, you shouldn't be in true crime anyways, because all you do is speculate. You claim that you have a bachelor's in psychology. No, honey, there ain't no way. If you do, I don't know where you got it besides a Cracker Jack box. I've said that many times before, but you yourself have a responsibility because you have a large platform. You have a responsibility of fact checking your own information. You have never done that. So stop trying to put it off on other people because you got called out on things that you did. That's not how this works. You are my age. In fact, I think you're older than me. It's time to grow up and stop playing little kid games and take accountability for your actions. You're human. You made a mistake. Own the fucking mistake and take accountability for it. That's the only way forward. But I see that there's lack of that. Again, we can't make her take it, but I can say what I want to.
But how he handled that tells me he doesn't fact check.
He doesn't.
Because he didn't fact check with me. So the fact that he just ran with all that without fact checking is going to make me doubt.
Oh, Kyle's picking up on stuff. Beat him. Beat him. Thank you so much. Zab Girl and Juliet AF Girl are so ghoulish. Who laughs and acts like this is no big deal? Does Zab lack any empathy? Yeah. You think? Thank you again for that. Let me find. Let's play this one.
All the bad bitches work. He like when I brought that.
I know that one.
Thank you, B10. All right.
His stories, when he comes out with a story on the cases, I'm going to doubt it because I know he doesn't fact check. So that he disappointed me so freaking much.
I know he doesn't fact check yet. You had Tyler Feller, Jim Terry, Ryan Upchurch. How many other clowns? I mean, I can just go through a list of clowns that you've sat on your panel and let spread misinformation. And you've gone along with the narratives and pushed off narratives on young children that weren't even adults yet. You and your buddies put all their private information out there. Yeah, one of the true crime creators, a lot of you guys had a hand in that. Putting out all of the information of every child around Kylie and listing them as, in their opinion, suspects. Think about how much damage this did to all those kids. But she's concerned about misinformation now. Sure you are.
Like that, but then the email. So yeah, I don't know if you're interested.
Well, that part, but you're gonna
I'll
go
get it to that on my channel. Yeah.
Yeah, Juliet. Do you mean like you brought it like when you like brought that in that way?
Y'all are too kind. Thank you so much. Let's see that again. No. Stella, thank you so much. Y'all, welcome to the island. For those of you that got gifted a membership, welcome to the shit show over here. But thank you so much.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games.
She's so boring that I figured we could play some buttons.
Last week, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even think about it like that. Wow, that's just messed up.
Slimy.
Yes, it is. And what was I gonna say? Wait, I had one more thing to say.
Probably, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Well, she fucking says, I don't know. Huh?
Yeah. So,
Yeah. So,
Oh yeah, and I heard. I didn't double check it, but I heard.
I didn't double check it, but I heard she's bitching about somebody else not fact checking shit. But she says, I heard. I didn't double check it though, but she's gonna still pass it off. Jesus.
After he caused the damage, after it was done, after everybody's not going to go rewatch his edited version, after he put out misinformation, probably to cover his butt, somebody told me he edited out some of the misinformation.
Let's talk about the misinformation that's still sitting on your panel, your channel right now in all the videos, the hundreds of videos of misinformation and fabrications and speculation and bullshit that you still have up on yours collecting revenue, and they are all nothing but misinformation. We want to talk about that, Zab Girl? Let's talk about you for a moment, Zab Girl. You want to talk about everybody else? Let's talk about the channel that you have, that you're sitting on, that has nothing but misinformation. I can go through all the videos and pull up bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. Why don't you want to focus on that, Zab Girl?
But the damage is already done. Do you think people are going to rewatch your edited version?
Oh, that's right. Because the damage is already fucking done and you're still collecting coin off of other people's misfortune.
Everybody already saw the original version. That's very freaking irresponsible. So the fact is like, you know what I'm saying? That just shows you he did have misinformation. So you could believe him or believe me, but he edited it.
You can believe him or believe you. I'll believe a wall before I believe you.
Out because he was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But the fact is he should have fact checked before he freaking broadcast to thousands of people.
Same like you should have fact checked all the shit that you've spewed about Kylie Rodney and her family before you spewed all that bullshit, huh? Or the stuff about Gannon. Or the Watts case. I mean, we can go on and on. If you want to play this, little girl, we can play it.
You know.
Oh, don't worry. We are going to play your own words. Shit, that's one thing I'm good at.
It's messed up. I don't even know if he edited out I was just told he edited out some of the misinformation, but that was after the fact. Like I said, you watch like a video, who's going to rewatch
it later? Yeah.
Rewatch it later. So it's like, it's just messed up. It's messed up. And even, well, I'm not even going to say anything else, but yeah. So yeah, guys. So look for that maybe this weekend. And then Juliet, she just,
I just wanted to clarify what actually happened, and that I personally, and I'm not speaking for both of us, I'm speaking for myself, I'm personally confused. as to why that backlash happened.
Was that Justice? Thank you so much. Was that Justice says her and Blowhard Betty got their degrees at the same college, in my opinion. We Hawkins Tech, is that what you said? Or technical? Probably. I just like, this angered me to no end because of the lack of, she's so snarky.
I mean, I'm not, because
I'll play a button again in a minute.
The internet works, and I've,
Thank you.
but it's just a lot of it isn't genuine, and I kind of want, I'm ideally hoping someone who really does at this point still find it to be your actions to be an outrage, a complete outrage that they're very upset over. I'd love to talk to someone about that and maybe have them come up on my channel, because I'm not seeing, and I'm saying that because I'm not seeing it anymore. I think that the people who are outraged are getting the wrong information. There were some people who were like, oh, I don't know if you should have done that or not, which I think is a totally valid response. But like, that's it. That's the extent of it. Beyond that,
she doesn't clarify Sorry, I like got tongue-tied there. She doesn't clarify, to my understanding, exactly what she's claiming is misinformation that he edited out. And I tried to find what piece was edited, and I'm not really sure. So far, I have not heard her clarify exactly which piece she's talking about specifically.
I think that people either got the wrong information and that's why they were outraged, or they're not actually outraged, including some other creators too. Because I was just talking to someone in chat who said I was surprised at the reactions of the other true crime creators. And yeah, so am I, because...
And we know, because there are, and I want to get all into this, but there's right now, and there's probably way more, there's 3 channels, and there was 4. One took them down the day my apology video went up. This person took his video down, but there's still 3 up, and there's probably more because I didn't go searching. 3 people that have the exact same photos up on YouTube as we speak right now, respectable freaking channels, and not one freaking word about them. And I don't care. I'm going to get on to this because the photos that I had were not some special photos. They were the photos they showed at the trial. And I would love to be able to compare. I would love to be able to take these channels that have them up on YouTube right now and compare my photos to them to show you that they're exact same. But I can't do that now, can I? I can't. But I would love to, because they're the exact same ones. And yet no backlash. And they were trying to destroy me. Like everybody, I have the worst reputation. And nobody's saying a word about them. Yeah. I try to make it.
Name them. Say it with your whole chat, Zab. Tell us who it is. How are we supposed to know who is it? Do you guys know who she's talking about? I haven't seen these creators that have the same pictures up, because you sure as hell would bet I will definitely have a video. Thank you, Wishful Thinking. Is that right? Yes. Thank you for becoming a member. Y'all, I owe you buttons. I have not seen these true crime creators that she's claiming. Yeah, beat him. That's what I'm like. But that was what was actually shown during the trial. Yeah. You would think she'd have these up and name the channels.
A little bit more private, because it's a little bit more sensitive information, right? Something that maybe is not okay for YouTube, because there are kids on there. So I thought, you know what? I don't think this is YouTube content. So I'm going to be a little bit more responsible and put it on my Patreon. That's all there is to it. Not that, you're trying to make $3. It was on my Patreon, which costs $3 to be a member. And then you get all the videos on it. It wasn't anything specific for that video. $3, you get all the videos on my Patreon. And that was one of the videos that was on my Patreon. I just tried to, number one, I didn't think it was appropriate for YouTube.
Thank you, Hippie Emporium. Welcome to the cabana. Thank you, Wishful Thinking. Welcome. I owe you guys buttons.
I think it would be allowed on YouTube. Isn't that what Patreon is for? Isn't that what Patreon is for? It's for material that isn't appropriate for YouTube. You're supposed to be able to do it on Patreon because it's a personal thing. And it's like a lot of people, like a lot of true crime and stuff that YouTube won't let. They put it on Patreon.
No, it's a way of making money. That's why people use Patreon. Let's cut the shit for a minute here. People have Patreons because they claim that they can put stuff that they can't put on YouTube. their terms of service are pretty similar. Yes, they can get away with a little bit more on Patreon, but honestly, most creators have Patreon because it's another form of income. It's to supplement their income. That's it. That's all. She used the autopsy photos as a way of driving traffic to her Patreon. Again, you're not going to have to take my word for it. I'm going to pull up a video that I did a week or so ago and let you hear her own words in a moment, because I think she's forgetting how much she actually advertised and how giddy she was about all this in advance.
Why was that bad that I was actually a little bit more responsible with it?
Yeah.
Had
Steel
nothing
Steel Ribbon said sorry. Yep. Now there's bored housewives trying to influence legislation into Congress.
Now there's bored housewives. You think it's fucking funny, Juliet? You think it's funny that us bored housewives want to protect victims and their families? First of all, I'm not a wife. We're not technically married. So, bitch, shut up. I'm just a bored bitch who is sick of the misinformation and the BS that goes on. Yeah, right. I was like, what the fuck? Bored housewives that want to pass. There's no reason for this. These people have no credentials. There's no scientific value in this. There's no educational value in this. It was vile, disgusting, self-serving BS. That's it. That's all. But go ahead and call us bored housewives. We're not that bored when we're calling your ass out, are we?
I mean, I'm with you on the bored housewives thing. I have a lot to say about that too.
But I swear it had nothing to do with making more money. Oh, I'm going to make more. Let me put it
No,
behind
you
a
would
paywall.
have.
It has to do with
charged more if you were really. That's what it was about.
Yeah,
not
it had
$3.
nothing to do with that. It had to do with it. I didn't think it was appropriate material for YouTube. First of all, I didn't think it would even be acceptable on YouTube.
Right.
Because I didn't even realize till after that people had it on YouTube. So I didn't even think it was going to be acceptable, right?
Yeah.
She was worried about losing her YouTube channel.
I don't know. I'm sure.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
No, what's crazy is the lack of emotion you both have. What's crazy is the snarky attitudes, the arrogant bullshit that you're spewing. That's what's crazy.
And it's crazy that like other people have done the same thing before
Thank
you,
Patricia.
and there was no backlash.
Yeah.
And then you get other YouTube true crime creators who know that other people have done the same thing with no backlash, coming out and saying, "Oh, she should have known better." Like, how would you have known better? How would you have known better if literally other people have done it?
Doesn't mean you go ahead and do it too. They're scum too. Everybody who is posting stuff like this behind a paywall is just as scummy as you, Zab. Make no bones about it. They're just as scummy as you. There's a lot of them. The whole true crime, well, not all of them. I love Duty Ron. I love a few of the true crime creators, but 99% of them don't have ethics. They are absolutely about making money for themselves. There are very few. Replay that. I got you, Boston. Which part? I'll back it up a minute.
They are definitely arrogant twat waffles.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Amen to that.
The video.
Why didn't you get Tyler to come over there and bless you and honor you, Zav? I think you're under spiritual warfare. Little feller could help you out on that.
That was on my page. I just tried to, number one, I didn't think it was appropriate for YouTube. I didn't even think it would be allowed on YouTube. Isn't that what Patreon is for? Isn't that what Patreon is for? It's for material that isn't appropriate for YouTube. You're supposed to be able to do it on Patreon because it's a personal thing. And it's like a lot of people, like a lot of true crime and stuff that YouTube won't let. They put it on Patreon. Why was that bad that I was actually a little bit more responsible with it?
Yeah. Steel Ribbon said sorry. Yep. Now there's bored housewives trying to influence legislation into Congress. I mean, I'm with you on the bored housewives thing. I have a lot to say about that too.
But I swear it had nothing to do with making more money. Oh, I'm going to make more. Let me put it behind a paywall. It has to do with
charged more if you were really. That's what it was about.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with that. It had to do with it. I didn't think it was appropriate material for YouTube. First of all, I didn't think it would even be acceptable on YouTube.
Right.
Because I didn't even realize till after that people had it on YouTube. So I didn't even think it was going to be acceptable, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And it's crazy that like other people.
Kiki's even giving her the booty hole on this one. That's how bad this is. Thank you, B Tim. Yeah, agreed. 100% agreed. This is some bullshit. See, Kiki's pissed. He's like, I'm involved in this too.
People have done the same thing before you, and there was no backlash.
Yeah,
And then you
yeah.
get people, you get other YouTube true crime creators who know that other people have done the same thing with no
Yeah.
backlash, coming out and saying, "Oh,
Wrong.
she should have known better." Like, how would you have known better? How would you have known better if literally other people have
Yeah.
done it and everyone seemed okay with it when they did it? How would you'd have to be psychic to know better?
I know. Do you think? Yeah, you guys think I
You would
like,
have to be psychic to know better than to stick autopsy. Are you effing kidding me right now? What? Man, I just listened to Nunya tell me that sometimes I don't need to tell somebody they're a fucking dumbass. But man, this bitch is a dumbass. Sorry, Nunya. I'm breaking all of that already. You just said it like an hour ago in your live, but this bitch is a dumbass. I'm sorry. This is absolutely disgusting. She knows better. Like, you're 40 some years old. You know better than to stick autopsy photos of an 11-year-old child anywhere. There is absolutely no need for it. Pure disgusting. Wanderlust, thank you so much. Thank you. This is just plumb disgusting.
come on, I didn't. Like, I thought it was a part of the
Oh.
cases. We
It
always,
is.
yeah.
I still
I'm
say,
still,
I know, I'm not speaking
I'm
on behalf of you,
yeah,
but
I guess I didn't know the bound. Now I'm learning the lines. I didn't know the line there because it was okay. You know what I'm saying?
it was okay. Yeah, until suddenly it isn't. And everyone says you should have known that it wasn't okay. But meanwhile, it
When
was.
has it ever been okay? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody enlighten me? When has this ever been okay? I'm sorry. I'm a fair game hater. I think all of them that do stuff like this and self-promotion and the whole early release of graphic, gory photos behind a paywall, even when they claim, oh, it was just stuff that was already, I think that's as disgusting as the rest of it. I think all of it's gross. There is absolutely no need. But when was this acceptable? Can anybody enlighten me? Again, she has no credentials. This is no scientific value. She's not teaching a class. She's not a medical examiner that can even explain. There was body diagrams that she could have used that she never had to show the pictures whatsoever. This is absolutely the most distasteful BS I've ever seen.
It's okay up until that point, up until everyone decided it wasn't. Like, it's really, really crazy. Anyway,
but yeah, it definitely it's the people, and all the photos say People's Exhibit, and like, and just like when Michael Allen gets up there and insinuates that I got it. Well, Michael, I got it from Colorado. That's another thing. It came from Colorado. I have the emails to prove it. It wasn't from Florida. It's from the trial.
We know.
Record. It was the court trial record.
yeah, and then also, like, anyone, the thing is, like, for both of us, and I will speak on behalf of both of us at this point, like, anyone who was like, I don't know if you should have done that, or I'm not that big on autopsy photos, or maybe autopsy photos are okay but not of a kid, all of that stuff, we both were like, oh, 100% legit, like, willing to listen.
There is no need for any of these stupid asses who call themselves YouTube true crime creators to be releasing autopsy photos of anybody's loved ones without their explicit consent. Zero. There is absolutely no way that it will ever be okay.
Listen and be like, oh, maybe we're seeing it wrong. You know what I mean? Like, those responses are fine. Like, it should be a conversation that's had, you know, like, should this, are we gonna, if everyone was like, you know what, we could talk about cases on YouTube, the true crime community, whatever, but let's all stay away from autopsy.
What do you think, babe?
It's funny because she actually asked me this. No, don't make my face bigger. I don't want to see that shit. She asked me the other day because I've had two brothers that have passed away, and for different reasons, but it doesn't matter. If I found out,
hey Matt,
that somebody on YouTube or wherever it was displaying pictures of one of my brothers without anybody's consent, I would spend my last waking moment to post their autopsy pictures.
He basically said, so I went to him before I did any videos on this because I know that how strongly he feels about some of this. He had, can I share? Yep. Of course. One of his brothers died of a heroin overdose and the other one died of brain cancer. So his instant reaction was, if that happened to one of my family members, they would have their own photos to deal with because I would hunt those people down. There's no need for it.
It's so far beyond wrong that it's when she asked me, I didn't think it was a real question because it was so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, he thought I was losing my mind. Yeah, not even a medical expert. There's just no need for it. There's nothing. And again, there were body diagrams, right? There was diagrams where they could have shown the exact same things. The exact same things could have been done with the diagrams without the photos. Yeah, I think most of you would feel this way. I'm sure most of you guys absolutely, absolutely be Tim. Thank you again for that.
Nick. It's, you know what I'm going through.
A lot of you guys know.
And we've been on the brink of another one. So, I mean, knowing that it's coming in the future and watching it go down that road and just waiting for it to happen. Yeah, we know it all too well. And then to throw the family under the bus like that is just...
To have zero remorse for her actions and try to twist it on a reporter that they're passing off misinformation.
I think my therapist would say that's 100% sociopath.
In your opinion. Yeah, it's not normal behavior. Do you want to say anything else?
No.
Okay.
That's probably got me enough.
Photos. Like, I personally wouldn't agree with that, but I'd be like, okay, if enough people are like, yeah, let's have that be where we draw the line, then 100%, yeah. But that's, do you see what I mean? Like, the difference, a genuine response to this, where they disagree with it, sounds completely different
than rehab.
All of these other responses you've been getting. Because it's not about the autopsy photos for those people.
It's not. And can I also say, everybody said, oh, everybody tried to tell you not to do it. That's a lie. It wasn't until after Queen Bee and all of her people went to attack me.
All her people in to attack you. You whiny little bitch. That's not even what happened, first of all. You were called out on your behavior. You had people coming over and asking you what was going on. Why did you do this? In fact, it was Evil Abe who did a video asking you to reconsider doing what you did. It was Evil Abe that brought attention to it. Thank God he did. But you claim that you were attacked. No, questioning you isn't attacking you. Questioning your own behaviors that everybody has been watching isn't attacking you. But go on. You're not the victim here.
No, I want to tell you, if you look at my lives leading up to it, I probably at least over a week mention it on a few lives, a few videos, feeling you guys out. Would everyone said, would anybody be interested in autopsy photos? What do you guys think? I'm thinking about releasing them. Would anybody be interested? Who would be interested? Not one single person said, Tiff, don't do it. It's a bad idea. Not one single person said. Only people said, some people didn't say anything, but the people that did respond said, yeah.
That's bullshit too, because her comment section in the videos absolutely did have people saying this is not a good idea. There is no need for this.
I'm interested. Hey, I'm interested. Yeah, I do it. So that's a freaking lie. Nobody said that. And you can go back through my freaking live streams on the live chat and look when I mentioned it. And I was trying to see, like, hey, who would be interested? Is this something you guys are interested in? Like, let me know. Yeah, Tiff. Yeah. Bam. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just so
there's a lot of crazy.
When I hear live people like, they told you not to do it. That was not until after it was already up and Queen Bee sent her people over. Attacking me, so that's a lie.
Attacking me,
freaking lie. Anyway,
actually, once again, it was Evil Abe that tried to reason with you by posting a video asking you to rethink and reconsider your decision to post them, and then brought it attention, and you got questioned on it. That wasn't an attack, but.
Yeah. What are you laughing at, Julia?
I'm just laughing at the absurdity of it. Like like I'm just seeing it from a more of an outside perspective. Like another YouTuber sending people to do this is just sad. It's sad. It is sad. It's one of those things where it's like I can't stand these people, but at the same time, it's like it's so sad that part of me does feel bad. Like, what are their lives like? That they.
What the fuck is your life like? That's the question everybody should be asking. If you are condoning this and think it's so cute and funny, what the fuck is your life like? In fact, I don't even want to know, because it sounds pretty sad that you think that this is okay behavior.
I need to do,
especially 40-year-old women.
Do this. Just, you know what I mean? To send people after someone for no reason. Like, I don't know. What are you getting out of that?
I'm glad you guys know, like, everybody here, thank you. Because it's like, if anybody even knows me, they know I didn't have, like, they know, like, I just get so into cases. They know that there was nothing, like, no malicious intent, nothing. Like, I was just dug into this case. I really got into this case, you know, and I asked you guys, and people wanted to see it. So
Someone I saw, we should wrap this up before we
I
get
know,
to
I'm
into
sorry,
it. But I did
guys.
see like one comment that I was gonna, if I could, I know I screenshotted it to use it in my video, but if I can find it again, I will. But it was just one like rando who commented on your apology video and summed it up perfectly by just saying, like, I think they said, I thought true crime equals autopsy photos. No, like that was it.
Wait. They said it as a joke, or what do you
No,
mean?
they were saying like they didn't get it at all. Like they thought autopsy photos was like part of it. Like, but they asked just so like innocently and like straightforward, and just like a short little. All the other comments were really long. That one was just like, I thought true crime equals autopsy photos, no, or something like that. And I was like, yep.
Yeah.
I
mean,
Wow.
you guys, it got so big. My nephews were watching that penguin guy. They saw it. I just heard yesterday. My nephew said that basically my brother's ex-wife is all mad at me because she doesn't. She's like hearing these headlines, seeing what these people are saying. They're making me out to be this horrible, sick monster. So she's like mad at me because she hasn't got to hear the truth yet. And so, like,
oh, how dare these people be upset with you? Everybody that's upset with you, with Zab, it's all our faults. We're the ones with the issues. Don't forget, we're the ones that have the issues. Even people in her real life are upset with her, and she can't even take that criticism.
She's the poor victim, though.
Yeah, I don't even understand how she turned herself into the victim of this. This absolutely infuriates me.
But Case and Cam, I was like, did Case and Cam explain it? Because I had to explain this to my nephews because it's all over YouTube. Like, and my nephew Cam keeps saying, they keep saying you're an evil monster. He kept repeating that. It's like, True Crime Investigates. Yes, we should do that. Sorry, I'm just seeing you now. I got a text from Missy like a while ago. And then when I saw it, then I didn't see you. And then okay, so I'm glad I got to say hi to you. Thanks for coming. So yeah, did I cut you off, Juliet?
I don't know. I was just saying we should wrap it up.
Yeah, we should. But look for Juliet's video because she's gonna be a lot better at articulating everything.
She's gonna try to expose Brian it, and that'll be a shit show we will definitely cover.
I just basically want to show what actually happened because a lot of you guys don't know.
She just wants to channel build off of a vile situation.
So that's all it is. It's not going to be anything too exciting.
Yeah, and thank you guys. And I know like a lot of the supporters, like I had to keep like telling myself, and Juliet had to keep reminding me, like, it's like you guys, like it was like for some reason I was only seeing the negative because they were all at the top of the comments and stuff. And it just looked like overwhelmingly like, oh my God, it was overwhelming. And then I get emails where people are like, we want to stick up for you, but we're getting bashed in the comments. Like you can't even say anything because they're getting attacked. It's just out of control. But, anyway, yeah, all right. All Dragonfly. But
poor baby. Hi, my name's Sam and I'm a victim. Okay.
Thank you guys. This live was like better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, you guys are seriously the best.
Yeah.
Like I can't even put it into words how much.
We were ready to get attacked. Like I thought I was going to get attacked. Like I was ready. I was like all nervous. I was like, okay, let's get ready to get attacked, but I just have to do it sometime. And I'm like pleasantly surprised that you guys are all here, you know? So thank you.
And saying such kind things. Like it's
Yeah.
really,
You're
you guys are so great.
Like a child's dead body online.
Yeah.
Good job.
Can you imagine getting to the point in your life where you're cheerleading for somebody like this? Can you imagine? I mean, I'm glad they're staying over there. They're identifying themselves. Keep them over there.
You really are.
Yeah, you really are.
It means a lot.
Mm-hmm. Let me go over. Okay, so the poll real quick before I close this out. So yes, 33 said she was insane and 67 said no. Okay. All right, guys. Well, but yeah, me and Julie, do you think we could try to figure out how to do a live? Because I think it would be like, what if you go up there with me and we like, from next weekend.
You need a fucking bodyguard or what?
I don't know if you're gonna get
You feel like you're gonna get attacked through your fucking screen?
Mommy, hold my hand.
Jesus Christ.
anyone who isn't
Just have Tyler come pray for you. Have him sit in the corner of your live stream and bless and honor you. Fucking vile pieces of shit.
crazy person who is still at this point, after knowing like
Hey y'all, thanks
all
for
the
dropping
stuff
by.
that wasn't true isn't true, is still gonna really feel strongly enough to really argue against you and what you did. And do you know what I mean?
So you
I
don't
don't
think
think
I
those
should
people
do it?
exist anymore. I think there's people who are full of crap, who are gonna they just want the drama. And I think the people who really disagreed with what you did are normal people who are over it because you apologize, the video's down, and it's not the end of the world.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, those people aren't going to want to come up and like argue why you should not have a channel anymore or anything like that, because they probably don't feel that way, because it's just the problem is fixed.
The problem is fixed. Mm.
It gave them content for a couple weeks, didn't it? As they went on live every day talking about it, like,
The creators, you mean?
that means that makes it all better. Just like bringing all this. Yeah. What's that?
The creators you're talking
Yes.
about.
Yeah. All the creators that did videos about it.
Kind of like when you did videos when Kylie was found and you continued on and on and on and on and on for months with speculation and wild accusations, kind of like that.
Or every night talking about it for day
Right.
after day. But
knowing, and then keep in mind, the creators, the true crime creators, knew that this was something that's been done before, because they've been doing this for a while.
Thank you, Patricia.
And they still talked about how horrible it is. And
it doesn't.
It was a personal attack. It started a personal attack by we know what channel. It was a personal thing because, and then I also wanted to address the whole Kylie, because there's people that just say, oh, what she did with Kylie. I want to talk about that because people are lumping me doing stuff that I didn't do with Kylie.
Oh yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that, Zab.
And that's another thing I want to clear up on the video next weekend, because I have people with the whole Kylie thing from both sides. I have the people that wanted me to stop talking about it and the people that were mad that I stopped talking about it. And I got attacked from both angles on the Kylie thing. But I want to talk about that too, because that got brought up a lot. Well, this is not their first time. Look what she did with Kylie. And then they're falsely saying that I did stuff that, if you guys were there through the whole thing, you'll know that I didn't do some of the stuff that they're saying. So, but I hate it because people that weren't there, they're hearing that and they're thinking, oh, she did this and this and this.
yeah,
like the whole thing with, let me just say it real quick. I never, not once did I ever say or insinuate Kylie didn't exist. I did the opposite and said Ryan was wrong. I purposely did tribute showing young pictures of Kylie because he said there's no Kylie pictures because there's barely any Kylie pictures. So that next day after he said that, I did this big tribute with tons of Kylie pictures with her young and all different ages.
You never shut him up when he sat on panel next to him, did you?
And said he was wrong. Just because you have a guest that thinks something does not mean that means that I say it, that I take on that opinion. And somehow people are still saying, oh, you said he didn't exist. I never said that. I said he was wrong. Kylie exists. There's pictures. There's tons of pictures of her. And I found them. I went out and found them to show that she exists. So I never, ever even insinuated she didn't exist. So that is a freaking lie. Just because I could respect somebody and support somebody and even like be friends and have them up, and that means that I have to, that means you agree with everything they say. That's not how it works, guys. That's not how it works. I mean, don't have to be.
But yet she never shut it down. Not once with the crazy speculation. Not once did she try to correct it. She allowed them, her platform, to spread nothing but misinformation. You were a part of accusing other creators of things too, weren't you, Xana? Or not Xana. You accused Xana May of stuff, I'm pretty sure, or allowed that to happen on your panel too, didn't you, Zav?
Be a jerk and treat somebody like crap if I disagree with them. That's just not how life works.
That's a big thing that's happening all over the internet now. I know Joe Rogan got massive shit for having people up on his podcast that like everyone kept saying like you shouldn't have this person on because they're wrong, and he was like, well, so let them be wrong and then we'll talk about
comparing Zab Girl to Joe Rogan.
what a podcast is too. You kind of want to disagree with the person, right? Or else it's going to be boring.
Yeah.
But that was,
But Zab doesn't. Zab doesn't disagree with anything. Zab doesn't speak up and say anything or stop the narratives of the false information. She doesn't speak up at all. I don't know, guys. I don't know, guys.
huge thing. I don't know if you know about that because you don't really follow that.
Wait, say that again. Wait, say that real quick again. I'm sorry. I was reading a comment. Joe Rogan and who?
Joe Rogan, who has like the biggest podcast ever, I think, at this point. He was getting a ton of shit for letting people, he basically lets, whoever on his podcast, including people that he disagrees with, because that's how it should be. And like most or a lot of people feel that way. And then they were trying to cancel him and all of this stuff because some people really feel like you shouldn't give a platform, in quotes, to people who are wrong. But it's like, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that's, that's everywhere.
Wow.
But let's wrap this up though, since this was a video for
yeah, let's wrap this up.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again.
Thank
you guys were
everyone.
awesome. It made I feel like a big weight's been lifted off my chest because I've been just so nervous to come back. I was like, oh my God, this is one of the hardest things I've been through a lot of hard things, and this is up there as one of the harder things that I've been through in my life. So, because this is my living, this is my job, this is like,
there you go.
You know what I'm saying? My reputation online means a lot when that's what you do for a job.
This is her income, and she's worried about that. Not worried about or care about her actions or what she did to this family. She's cares about her income. That's what this is about. Not remorse for what she did. She shows no remorse. She doesn't have a single ounce of remorse, in my opinion.
You know what I'm saying? And now,
you can't afford to just be like, oh, screw
yeah. So, so it was like, yeah, it's a big deal. It really is. So, but so you guys, thank you. All right. Well, I'll see you guys. Hopefully, I might do, a couple lives this week. But the live that talking about it, I want to do it next weekend. So, and people that, if I do like an open panel or something, people that have that disagree, I want those people up and we could discuss it. And because I want to understand, everybody's point of view and their take on it. You know what I'm saying?
She doesn't want to understand shit. And that's obvious. She's had weeks to understand what she did, and she's taken zero time to actually analyze her own actions or have remorse for that.
And so I don't know. We'll figure it all out. But all right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you again. Mwah, mwah. Love you. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, you guys are. All right. I almost don't want to leave, but I know I have to. Don't say do. What? All right, Barbie, Steel, Spicy, Patty. Okay, bye, Jen. All right, bye. I'm leaving now. Kit Kat. Okay. Bossing, Steel Ribbon. Okay, I gotta go, Juliet. God.
All right, I could hit that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do it. Do it.
Little button that looks.
But wait, then you're gonna leave. I want to talk to you for a minute. Okay, I'm gonna end.
All right.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
All right. That's the end of that painful monstrosity of something. I don't even freaking know what she was attempting to do there, but I am going to pull this one up. This is my own content that I did a couple weeks ago on the apology that she gave. The reason why I want to play this is because a lot of people didn't see this. This is her own statements. If you've seen this, go ahead and check out. You can also go watch it if you want to. It's on. I'm just going to play a little bit of it because I want people to understand that she knowingly did this. So this whole victim mentality that she's spinning now, she's trying to save face because, as she said, her livelihood depends on it. This is her job. This is all she has. So she is somehow becoming the victim of her own actions. So let me go ahead and grab this up here. This is the one I'm going to share instead. You guys got that? Yep. Okay. Again, this is my video from the other day, and I'm going to just give it to you full screen and play it. All right, here you go. Talking about Zab Girl and Zab Girl's recent apology video that she dropped on her channel. First and foremost, I know a lot of people have been talking about this apology and really breaking it down bit by bit and giving their opinions on what she states. To me, this is a pretty typical PR YouTube apology after a mistake. We have seen many creators give these very empty, hollow type apologies over the past year that I've been on YouTube, and it just kind of fits that same bill. Now, I am going to play the apology in its full context right in the beginning. So if anybody has not seen it at this point in time, I don't know how you haven't, but if you haven't, you have the full context. And then after the full thing, I will go ahead and break it down and insert some clips that I found that I have issues with. After she issued this apology, she was actually seen in a live stream with another creator who is problematic, but we'll get to that in another video. This video does contain sensitive topics, so if you need to step away, please do so. And remember, a heavy trigger warning, as this is affecting people's mental health status on the daily. This falls under the fair use content, and it's for educational and entertainment purposes only. And if you're new here, buckle up. Put your seatbelts on, fasten your helmets, because you're probably going to need them. In true nonsense fashion, I will be using her own words to ask questions about her apology. So let's jump right in to this apology. Michelle, I won't let it be put in the chat, but it's in some of the articles. Some of the articles named them full name.
Hi, everyone. If you're listening to this, then you likely know about the last few days. I want to apologize to everyone I've hurt, but especially Cannon's family. I've been doing some major soul searching and reflecting. There are many trying to define my motivations. And while I'm not looking for forgiveness or trying to make excuses, I do hope to provide additional context that has not been made clear. I have followed the Letitia Stout case closely, and it was actually during the trial that I made the official records request. And it was in El Paso County, Colorado. I requested all the video, audio, and written records. I made no request for autopsy photos. I wanted all trial records, but my main interests were interviews with Letitia. The autopsy photos just happened to be in the files. I spent time reviewing what I received so I could provide more info from the trial. I believe many of my images were already shown during the televised trial, and I saw the photos on other public YouTube channels that live streamed the trial and shared the evidence. I didn't think any of the images were new. These photos were already public, although the video I put together with the coroner's voice was my own creation. I chose to put the video on Patreon because of the sensitive nature of the evidence. Putting the evidence behind a paywall meant added security, and I naively thought they wouldn't be made public. The video I created with a voice from the coroner wasn't meant to be shared outside of Patreon, and I chose not to put the photos on YouTube, a public forum, where the views would have allowed me to make more money, and the photos would be seen by more people. Because the video was placed behind a paywall, rumors about the images not being blurred or being different than what was shown in trial started to surface. No photos shows genitalia. I have made no jokes about the photos. I don't even cuss on my channel, and I would never allow derogatory remarks about a victim. I realized my intentions.
Tragedy Pimps Exposed. Thank you. I didn't know she came back like this. I actually, somebody, Crimes in Fashion was talking about it. And that's how I even realized she made a video, because there's so much other stuff going on. So I didn't even know she had made that video. And then I went and watched sections of it, and I was so disgusted. I'm so glad that everybody's speaking up and saying something, because this is not okay.
Were not communicated well. My channel style is sort of me hanging out with friends and speaking off the cuff, and I did not articulate my reasons or think my decision through. At this time, my Patreon website has been shut down. I am not sharing any of the photos or video anywhere, although you can see the photos published on other popular channels. Nothing you see is from me, nor will it ever be. To those who have supported me and followed my channel, and to the
Mike, if you support the release of autopsy photos of an 11-year-old minor, this isn't the chat for you. I don't know if you're agreeing with the fact of what she did or saying it's not a bad thing because there's pictures of bodies all over. Yeah, if you want to see that stuff, you can see it. Of course. It's the fact that she sold an 11-year-old's autopsy photos. But again, this might not be the chat for you. I don't know if you're defending her actions because we don't put up with bullshit like that around here.
True crime community, I'm sorry I let you down. I cannot imagine the pain Gannon's family has gone through. My anger over what happened to Gannon is the reason I started following the case. I'm not this evil, heartless person like many are saying, but I'm also doing a lot of self-reflecting, and I'm looking into sensitivity training. I did not want to add to the family's loss with anything I said or shared about this case. And it will be a long time before I ever trust myself or my decisions again. To Gannon's family, I have no words that can make this better. No one should have to ever go through what you guys have been through.
Yeah.
I'm so very sorry for any pain that I have caused you.
So that is the complete apology that Zab Girl issued on her YouTube page in regards to the situation after she released a minor's autopsy photos in her Patreon. Instead of me talking about how I don't think she's expressing emotion and so on and so forth, which is not my concern because, again, the apology is not directed towards me whatsoever.
Yo, Bert.
Did she complete her course in sensitivity, though?
I don't know. Did she complete that sensitivity training, I wonder?
I want to focus on Zab Girl's behavior, Zab Girl's previous statements.
Oh,
so let's go ahead and jump right back into the apology, but I'm going to insert some clips and commentary as we go.
Y'all,
hi, everyone.
Just so you know, the little cronies that defend this stuff, the little Zav trolls are coming into chat. Welcome them in. Don't even be distracted by them. They can sit on their hands or they can be removed. We're adults here. They're acting like 2-year-olds. We don't fight with 2-year-olds. We just let them show their asses. Don't let them get you distracted or in your feelings because they're ignorant. Remember, this is the game they play.
Everyone, if you're listening to this, then you likely know about the last few days.
There you go.
I want to apologize to everyone I've hurt, but especially Gannon's family. I've been doing some major soul searching and reflecting. There are many trying to define my motivations.
I'm not trying to define her motives. I am trying to highlight her own statements leading up to the release of the autopsy photos. And while I agree that humans all make mistakes, we absolutely make mistakes. This isn't the first, the second, or the third time she has done something that has hurt or affected a victim or their family. Unfortunately, bad behavior continues and continues until things finally blow up.
And while I'm not looking for forgiveness or trying to make excuses, I do hope to provide additional context that has not been made clear. I have followed the Letitia Stout case closely, and it was actually during the trial that I made the official records request.
Pay attention to the small details and the wording she chose to use. She refers to it as the Letitia Stout case. She also states that she followed it very closely. So let's go ahead and take a look back at a clip from one of her previous videos discussing this case. For context purposes, she is in the middle of a discussion with her chat about trials that she would like to cover.
Because I want to probably cover one of them. Like I would like, as long as I'm able to live stream the trial, I'm going to do one of them. You know what? Even if for some reason, like it's like I might, like, let's say, hey, I'm going to miss a couple days because I have something going on or something. I shouldn't let that stop me from live streaming it. Like if I happen to have to miss a couple days, because that's what I did for Letitia. I let that stop me from live streaming it because when the first week it started, I was on a trip. So then since I missed the first week, I was like, oh, so I can't live stream because I missed the first week. But I don't think I should let that stop me. If I'm going to miss a part of it, oh, well, you know, I could live stream the rest of it.
So once again, you hear her state that she was unable to cover the first week of the trial. So therefore, she just didn't cover the rest of it as she had already missed pieces of it. Again, not saying she wasn't invested in the case in itself. I'm just stating that she herself had said she hadn't been covering it as significantly as she claimed in her apology.
And it was in El Paso County, Colorado. I requested all the video, audio, and written records. I made no request for autopsy photos. I wanted all trial records, but my main interests were interviews with Letitia. The autopsy photos just happened to be in the files.
Once again, pay attention to the wording. She states that her main objective in requesting the records were the interviews with Letitia. Yes, she does state the autopsy photos just happened to be in there. But you notice that her main objective was the interviews with Letitia. The upcoming clip is from July 2nd. Now, some of these videos she might have taken down by now.
Or how many of you guys are interested in these text messages? I mean, how many of you guys were just here for that first part, or are you guys interested in these too? I'm just curious because I know some of them were out there, but I don't think I haven't seen anybody have like the complete thing. Like I said, because I ordered these from them, which.
So in this video, she had stated she hadn't seen anybody else with the complete thing. I'm assuming she meant the complete file because she had ordered them directly from El Paso County. She's going to continue on to speak about how much she paid for and how she got this file. Trigger warning, this upcoming piece really frustrated me to hear her state, considering what she actually did with this file.
Wasn't free. I feel like they ripped me off. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like if I would have just been like, no, I'm not paying that. Like, this should be our, or how do you word it? Like, this should be our right to have these copies. Like, I'll pay you for the whatever it takes. Like I don't know. Like if it was on paper, like paper, you know what I'm saying? Like things like that. I feel like if I would have just like, I could have maybe talked my way out of it, but I don't know.
So on July 2nd, she felt that she had been ripped off by having to pay for these files that she ordered from El Paso County. She felt it was her right to have these records. But let's get back into the apology. I just want to point out a few things.
I spent time reviewing what I received so I could provide more info from the trial. I believe many of my images were already shown during the televised trial, and I saw the photos on other public YouTube channels that live streamed the trial.
She must just be specifically talking about the photos because in the earlier clip, we heard her say that she hadn't seen anybody else with the complete file. Now, granted, maybe she was talking about the text messages at that point in time, but it seemed to me that she was pretty confident she was one of the first to get the entire record, that she felt ripped off, that she had to purchase anyways. I don't know. It just seems all too much for me.
And by the way, she also doxed Al's phone number in the text messages in that video that she showed. I actually contacted the victim's advocate in El Paso County and let them know that his phone number, hopefully it had been changed, but that she had put his full phone number on display for her entire 70,000+ audience. 80,000. Yeah. Al's phone number was all over. Thankfully, the video is gone now, but she absolutely did that too. And I have proof of all of that too.
Let's go ahead and take a look at another clip of some of the conversation she had previously had about this case.
When we go over those photos. Oh, let me just say this, you guys. Those of you guys confused about the autopsy photos, I told you, I thought I made it clear. I'm going to put them up within the week on my Patreon. They're not there yet.
So she had been telling her subs that she intended on putting them on her Patreon way back before July 2nd even. And she admits that she had people reaching out to her, asking her where these photos were, anticipating their release. That just made me feel gross all in itself.
I'm going to wait.
Nope, she did not redact it.
Sometime this week, though.
Some of it was redacted, but she left a bunch of them in there with his number. And I was like, what the fuck do I do? You know, here I am. I'm just a YouTuber. So thankfully, because I will not go real life, I will not cause any family any harm or anything. So I took the appropriate steps and contacted the victim's advocate so I didn't have to do any of it. And they could handle all of it behind the scenes and make sure that that was taken care of. Hopefully his number was changed or whatever. But at the same time, this was so irresponsible from top to bottom. She cares so much about the family and the victims though, right?
Will be on. So don't worry, because there's some people getting on like freaking out, like, where are they? I got an email like, people are wondering where they are. I'm like, but when I said about that, I was very clear. I said it in about a week, and that was a few days ago. So I said within this next week, I'll have it up. I'm going to here's the thing. Patreon doesn't let me live stream unless if I buy Vimeo, which is $75 a month. I'm not going to buy that just for freaking one live stream. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a video, a pre-recorded video, and put it on my Patreon. So that's what it's going to be.
She had spent a lot of time deciding how she was going to do this.
So I'll probably record myself, like, you know, maybe like showing them and talking about it and just upload a video. But that's going to be something.
Tragedy Pimps Exposed. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you guys. You guys, please go check out Tragedy Pimps Exposed. They do a wonderful job breaking all this stuff down to time and time again.
What's for dinner?
Kyle's only concerned about what you're making for dinner.
Garlic bread?
Sometime this week. Within the end of the week, it'll be up there. Okay, guys? I promise. Because I know some of you guys joined. I'm not screwing you over. They will be there.
So on July 2nd, she's reassuring her subs that don't worry, if you joined my Patreon and paid the $3, you will get to see these autopsy photos. They just were going to take her some time to prepare. I've heard a lot of discussion about her intent or her motivation. And even no, she never advertised that she was going to be posting the video of his autopsy photos previous to her actually doing it. Well, you can tell from her own statements that that's just not the case. She absolutely had been advertising that she was going to be doing a release of these photos in her Patreon, and people had been joining her Patreon. She even states, don't worry, I'm not going to rip you off. This is an 11-year-old child's autopsy photos.
I just want to have to put some time to put it together. If it was just a live stream, I would do it sooner, but I could actually have to edit a video together. So, okay. Anyway,
back to the apology.
Shared the evidence. I didn't think any of the images were new. These photos were already public, although the video I put together with the coroner's voice was my own creation.
Your own creation, yet you used the audio from another creator that you tried to jam up previously in the Kylie Rodney case by making extremely bold accusations against this creator. You claim that that video was your creation, yet you took the audio from another creator that you had previously had problems with. Make that make sense. But she was so invested in covering this case. Let's go back to July 2nd once again. I think there's a reason she removed this video.
It's going to be a Patreon. I was looking up policies of like YouTube, and I can't take a chance because I think it would be a violation. So I don't want it anywhere on YouTube. So I'm just doing it on Patreon. So
that seems
to me like she had been doing her research and understood that it would be a violation to upload it to YouTube. So therefore, she would need to find a workaround, which unfortunately she did.
I'll probably put it up like this week on Patreon. So the link's in the description for Patreon. I think it's.
Look at her. She's cleaning her nails discussing this. Just watch what I mean, I can't with these people. Complete disregard for anybody involved in this situation. This horrific murder of an 11-year-old child who's been exploited all over the internet for clicks and views.
It's like $3. So it's not bad because you can just do it that month, see it, and that's it.
So once again, she was encouraging her subs to join her Patreon in order to see these photos. She knew that it would be a problem to load them to YouTube. Therefore, they would need to pay the $3 and join her Patreon to do so. But you would only have to join for a month and see them. And then, I have a hard time with the fact that she put a price tag on an 11-year-old child's autopsy photos. But as you can tell, in most of her conversations, she's just disconnected.
I have to because I'm too nervous to have it even on a member's YouTube because it doesn't matter if it's uploaded to YouTube. It doesn't matter where it's at if it's against policy. So they say if it's like you can't have like a policy violation if it's really bad that like one where they take away your channel like right away, or if it's not, if it's just a regular violation, then it could just be, they would just suspend it.
Yeah.
I think there could be a chance it would be all right, but I don't want to take a chance because their policy's so vague.
Mhm.
So it's so vague that like I don't know if it's against it because the way they word it, it's like you don't even know. I feel like there's a possibility it might not be because it's like education purposes and
Exactly how is there educational value in what you did? Unless you want to look at it from the perspective of what not to do, how not to be an insensitive asshole on YouTube.
but there's also possibility it might be, and I just am not willing to lose my channel. No. So it won't be on YouTube at all. It'll be on my Patreon. So like I said, I'll have it by the end of the week on there. And it's
I know she states she selected to post them on Patreon because she was worried about people not seeing them if they didn't want to see
the
them.
link is in the description if you want
But
to join.
seems to me she was more concerned about losing
Anyway,
her YouTube
okay,
channel if she put them on YouTube.
where
Again,
are we at
self-serving
here?
needs much?
I chose to put the video on Patreon because of the sensitive nature of the evidence.
Sorry, I just can't buy it, considering we just heard her state that she was concerned about losing her YouTube channel. But let's take a glance back at the July 2nd video. You know, more of that content where she wasn't directing people to her Patreon.
This comes up and shows when you join Patreon? Oh, you just put it in your message. I saw Batman. Did you see my message? So I'm warning you guys, if you guys are my patrons on Patreon and you don't want to see this, then make sure you don't click on that video when I upload it because I don't want anybody to see something that they don't want to see. So Batman, if you don't, I don't know. You seem like the type, I'm not sure if you want to see it or not. Maybe you do and that's fine. But if you don't, I don't click on it by accident. But if you do, then because you can't unsee seeing it, you know? Like when I first was looking through them, I was almost like regretting it because I was like, I can't unsee this.
And you can't undo what you've already done either.
But then as I was going through them, I'm like, you know what? I learned some things. I am kind of glad I did because there was so much mystery around like what actually happened that it does kind of show you in a way.
The trial was completely over. There was no need for this whatsoever. There was nothing educational or scientific in what she did. She took the time to warn her subs, yet she never once took into consideration the family.
But it does show you like the awful, what he must have went through was awful. So, anyway, so.
It is completely unnecessary to see the photos of the autopsy in order to understand that what was done was horrifying.
Putting the evidence behind a paywall meant added security, and I naively thought they wouldn't be made public.
You mean putting them on a different platform ensured that you didn't lose your YouTube channel, correct? I think that's what you meant.
Yeah, like I said, I'll still be working. I have more videos to do. Oh, like as far as the I'll say this again if there's any new people that wanted to see all those pictures, autopsy and stuff. Like I said, it's not going to be on YouTube because I'm too afraid that it's against policy. And I was tempted to like try to contact one of the YouTube people that works there and ask them, is like, if it's for educational purposes, would I be allowed? But I know they won't give me a straight answer because they're just so vague. I've asked them other things, and what they'll do is this is probably how they'll answer. Here's a link to the policy guidelines, and they'll send me a link to the freaking YouTube policy guidelines that I've read a million times that doesn't tell you anything. So like, no, I bet you it's just going to be a waste of time. So yeah, I'm not going to take a chance, but yeah, so just go ahead and it's Patreon. I think it's like $3 for the lowest tier. You could just cancel after, you could just do it 1 month and be done, you know? And I'm going to upload it within the week.
The way she,
like I said, it's not going to be a live stream because there's no way to the way you live stream on Patreon is you do it through another platform. So I would either have to go through YouTube, which I don't want to do because I don't want this anywhere on YouTube. I don't want to risk my channel.
I don't know how y'all in the comments feel, but it makes me feel like she was much more concerned about losing her YouTube channel than she was about the sensitive nature of these photos or protecting the family or protecting Gannon. Seems to me she was focused on what would benefit her the best. and not harm her YouTube channel.
Or you could buy like the Vimeo. For that platform to be able to live stream with it, it costs $75 a month. It's like, dude, I'm not going to pay $75 to do one live stream, especially because I had to pay so much for these dang freaking files. So I figured.
The way she acts so flippant about the fact that she had to pay for these files. And again, no one forced you to pay for those records. That was the choice that you made to pay for these records. Just like releasing the autopsy photos. That was a choice that you made.
I'm going to make a video. It's going to be a pre-recorded, and then I'm going to upload it to Patreon. Okay? So I know I already said that once, but there might be some new people in here.
I can't imagine getting to the point in my life that I have to use an 11-year-old child's autopsy photos to direct traffic to another platform such as Patreon.
So yeah, my Patreon, the link is in the description. And
hey Michael,
it'll be by the end of the week. I'll have it up there, okay? But just know it is graphic. I mean, they show like everything. It's really just like I got nauseous. Like I got like shaky and nauseous looking at it. So just, I mean, make sure you really think it out if it's something you want to.
Thanks.
Because you can't unsee it. That's the thing. Like once you see something, you can't undo it. It's in your head. So just make sure it's something you want to see. And then
well, unfortunately, you kind of took that from everybody because now the family has to worry about potentially stumbling across these photos. And that was a choice that you made to release these photos of an 11-year-old child's autopsy. It's sad that you never took the family into consideration in any of this.
Oh, Discord. I had one before, Austin. I don't remember what it was. Somebody, one of my moderators way back, I don't even know how to get a hold of her anymore.
Thank you, Emily.
She set me up one. And I used it a little bit, but it was just like, I guess I wasn't that good with it, but all it was is basically like a chat, right? And I know people talk about it, so I know there's much more to it. I guess I got to learn it. But like to me, it just looked like it was like a big group chat, and that's it, right? Can you live stream through it?
She knew exactly what she was doing.
Well, I can look into it, but with this, since I already, people already joined my Patreon, and that's how I said it. I'm gonna do it through there because people already joined for this. But maybe for future things, yeah.
And again, she admits that people had been joining her Patreon just for the release of these autopsy photos.
Or are you saying that you could use Discord to live stream through Patreon? Is that what you're saying? Let me look into it. If it's one of the programs that will let me live stream into Patreon so I could just live stream. Because like I really would like to live stream so I could chat with you guys while we're looking at them. But if I don't have that option, then I can't. And I'm just going to make a pre-recorded video. But if I do, if you're saying Discord, maybe I can live stream through it. I'll see if I could figure it out. If not, it'll just be a pre-recorded. But what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to record like either StreamYard or whatever, record my screen, or like StreamYard lets me record. So record my, doing a StreamYard where I share my screen and maybe talking, actually acting like it's alive in a way and just going through the pictures and making it a video. So at least talk a little bit, and then I might do it like that, depending. I don't know.
She had put a lot of thought into how she was going to go about this. But the one thing she forgot to consider in all of this was the victim or his family.
I know. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if I have time. I have so much stuff to do this week that I don't know if I have time to figure that all out. So I might just stick with how I was going to do it. Oh, you can't live stream anyway? Then no, I'm not going to do it like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Patreon, and I'm just going to upload it through like a Dropbox. You guys know how to do Dropbox, right? I don't know.
She planned out.
It really bothers me, the sense of entitlement that she has while she's discussing this release of an 11-year-old's autopsy photos. It's almost as if she's bothered by the fact she has to find a workaround and can't post them on YouTube.
Yeah, because Dropbox is like, because here, you see, you need a thing with a link. So Dropbox creates a link for you. So that's how I'm gonna do it. So hopefully you guys will be able to do that. And if not, like Dropbox, you could get the free, you don't have to pay for it, you can get the free version. So just if those of you, if you like don't have Dropbox, just like download the free version. If it makes you, I don't know if it even makes you if you just to watch a video. But you can just, it's a free version thing. It doesn't cost anything and you can watch it. So that's how I'm thinking I'm going to do it.
Listening to her discuss money while discussing releasing autopsy photos just bothers me so badly. But I just wanted everybody to know how much work she had to put into this, and how well aware she was of the choices she was making. But let's get back to this apology video.
The video I created with a voice from the coroner wasn't meant to be shared outside of Patreon. And I chose not to put the photos on YouTube, a public forum.
Patreon is also a public platform. It is just a membership platform that people pay or subscribe to after they pay a fee. YouTubers use it to supplement their income very often.
Where the views would have allowed me to make more money and the photos would be seen by more people.
And the only reason she didn't upload it to YouTube was because she was worried about losing her channel, as you heard.
Because the video was placed behind a paywall, rumors about the images not being blurred or being different than what was shown in trial started to surface. No photos shows genitalia. I have made no jokes about the photos. I don't even cuss on my channel, and I would never allow derogatory remarks about a victim.
You not cussing on your channel means nothing to me, because you can sit here and feed us a line of bullshit without cussing. That's still a line of bullshit. But as far as you not allowing people to say derogatory remarks about victims, I need to remind you of something. Granted, this might have been directed at a loved one of a victim, but you also said some very derogatory things about Kylie herself while you were covering that case. And you played a huge role in what was done to Kylie's family and friends, but they've never gotten an apology.
Okay, so I just posted up. I just saved a few of Jagger's comments. So it says, "Happy 17th, my love. I hope you can see what everyone is doing for you. I hope you see I will never let your name die. You will live on. I will see you again someday. And when I'm done, and when I do, I'm never going to let you go again. I miss you so dearly. I just wish I could hug you right now and tell you how proud I am of you." Yeah, are you thinking of her when you're sleeping with Kate, one of her really good friends, though?
This comment was made after Kylie Rodney had been found. It was directed at her boyfriend, Jagger. These are young adults, extremely young adults. And she made comments like that after Kylie had been found deceased due to a tragic accident. So please miss me with the I don't allow people to say anything bad about the victims when you yourself have gone after many victims and their families. Not to mention other YouTube creators that have called you out.
Oh, this is that one. I've read it a bunch, but about like she was drunk driving on a steep shoreline. Could have happened to anyone. Yeah, but weren't you saying like somebody, whoever has her, please just tell us something? And her parents are saying that she just wouldn't have done that though. She wouldn't have drove. I don't know. I'm having trouble believing that.
So while she apologized for one of her shitty actions that she has done on this platform, there are still many families and other victims that she has affected the lives of forever, such as Jagger and almost all of Kylie's friends and family members, with their insane conspiracy theories and complete BS fabricated lies.
I realized my intentions were not communicated well. My channel style is sort of me hanging out with friends and speaking off the cuff, and I did not articulate my reasons or think my decision through.
But in 2019, when you were discussing the Watts case, you knew what releasing autopsy photos could potentially be like. You were worried about getting the backlash you could potentially get from just going over the autopsy verbally with your audience.
Hopefully you guys will. Enjoy it. Well, actually, this subject, I'm a little nervous to do this because this is by request. A lot of people requested the autopsy report,
So there's it's not a very fun subject. So, okay, so we're going to start off with, and I want to just give a warning if you guys, if there's any young kids watching it, maybe they shouldn't watch, because we're going to be talking about some pretty disturbing things. So I'm a little bit nervous that people are going to, be like offended or say that I'm insensitive or whatever. But this was a request to go through the autopsy. I'm not trying to be insensitive or anything. I'm just trying to give the facts. So there are some very disturbing things here. But let's go over it.
I think I muted myself when I said that tragedy
Well,
pimps.
actually,
Oh,
this subject.
as I have my volume on the other one. Sorry, y'all. Tragedy Pimps Exposed. If you didn't hear me, clip anything you want. Anything. I have some other videos too that I can load of hers.
Okay. I'm going to start with Shanann Watts' autopsy. Now, some things I'm going to skip because some things are just too much.
So in 2019, you were well aware of what potentially could come from what your actions were.
I just don't want to cover everything because it just gets a little bit too disturbing, and I'm nervous actually to talk about it right now. So yeah, I'm nervous about all the comments of, I don't know, I could just see, but hopefully I just want to give the facts, and people were actually requesting this. So, and I did a lot of research to figure out what some of this stuff meant, and I was tempted to put in pictures, and I decided not to. There's not pictures of them, but like to give pictures of some of the things, like some of the terms they use, but I'm choosing not to do that because that would be a little bit too disturbing. But okay, so the word
Seems to me that once again, you were more concerned about how people would view you over this topic versus your concern of the victim and their families. Do you ever consider the victims and their families?
At this time, my Patreon website has been shut down. I am not sharing any of the photos or video anywhere, although you can see the photos published on other popular channels.
You already had shared them.
Nothing you see is from me, nor will ever be.
How can you guarantee that the video that you already released didn't end up in horrible spots?
To those who have supported me and followed my channel, and to the true crime community, I'm sorry I let you down.
That last clip, just so you guys have context, because I see everybody saying she looks so much different. That is when she started her channel in 2019 over the Chris Watts. She has changed a lot.
I'll be honest, you didn't let me down at all because I've seen you for what you were previous to this. Your coverage of the Kylie Rodney story was absolutely horrifying to watch. What was done to that family and Kylie herself by a group of creators such as yourself was absolutely vile and disgusting. So I wasn't let down by this stunt. However, I feel horrible for Gannon's family. I'm also not a part of the true crime community either.
I cannot imagine the pain Gannon's family has gone through. My anger over what happened to Gannon is the reason I started following the case.
Are you sure it wasn't your obsession with Letitia?
I'm not this evil, heartless person like many are saying.
You're pretty cold and calculated, in my opinion.
But I'm also doing a lot of self-reflecting, and I'm looking into sensitivity training.
Maybe seek out anger management if anger was the emotion that drove you to release Gannon's autopsy photos. Seems like you got a lot of soul searching to do.
I did not want to add to the family's loss with anything I said or shared about this case.
To me, it doesn't feel like you considered the family whatsoever, because not only did you release Gannon's autopsy photos, you also gave out Al's complete phone number in your video from July 2nd. So unfortunately, I think you just have some careless behaviors.
It will be a long time before I ever trust myself or my decisions again.
And just to be clear, I do not feel that Zab Girl is a victim in this situation. The only thing she is a victim of is her own poor choices. But I also don't agree with the threats and harassment that her family or her are even receiving. That is not how we go about things. Harassing her family or even her attempts to make her the victim in this story, and that is not what she is. But by stooping to the same level that these creators use, we are no better than they are. That's why I will continue to use her own words.
To Gannon's family.
Bella Ann, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry for all of you in my comment section who have lost somebody, and this affects greatly just thinking of the possibility of this happening. I'm very sorry for all of you. This is ridiculous. This is nothing that ever should have been even allowed.
Family, I have no words that can make this better. No one should have to ever go through what you guys have been through.
No one deserves what that family has been through. And they also don't deserve to be re-victimized by YouTube creators.
I'm so very sorry for any pain that I have caused you.
It feels to me like you are sorry that you got caught re-victimizing the family. That's what it feels like to me. It almost kind of feels like Gannon, the victim, and his family, his loved ones, were the last thing on your mind. But let's take a look at one more clip before we finish with this one, because I think it's important. And just for full context purposes, this is during a conversation that she was having with her subs about interviewing people who had committed heinous crimes. This just so happened to be about Letitia.
Wait, what interview, Peyton? I'll go with you to the interview. What are you? I'm confused. I missed it. Oh, thank you for joining 307, Mrs. Troy. Thank you. What interview, though? I don't get what you're saying. I'll go with you. Just don't leave me in there. Why am I lost?
In my opinion, you look lost all the time.
Trying to think what I said of what you're talking about.
Just Debbie, this will be interesting if you haven't heard this upcoming clip. You're going to be shocked.
Oh, okay. Okay, Peyton, I missed that. I could.
Right, Lisa?
I want an excuse to go back to Colorado. I used to live in Colorado. I love Colorado. It's beautiful. I've been wanting to go back for a little trip. So maybe, but she would have to okay me and want to interview me, which I'm sure she probably is wanting to, attention. I'm sure she is going to want to talk to people, but
sadly, your latest stunt gave her a lot of attention, and I'm sure, sadly, a lot of thrills.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of how I'd get a hold of her. It would be.
In all fairness, her comment section was the ones that brought up her potentially going to interview Letitia.
Just Debbie, if you haven't heard this clip that's about to come, you're going to be shocked. This is interesting.
In Colorado. But this is where the conversation went.
Like, I would love to interview, like the cases I cover, I'd love to go in and interview them. But do you see how that,
I know that there's a lot of people that would like to go in and interview some of these heinous murderers. But again, how exactly is this focusing on the victim?
Like, sometimes I get crap for, like, if I have guests or interviews of people, and if it's like some people like maybe don't like that person, like a lot of people like give me a hard time. Like, that means that if they're on my show and I interview them, then that means that basically I agree with them and I take on their beliefs. And I mean,
that's because you go along with some of the most insane conspiracy theories.
It's like I'm on their side or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They just assume, which is ridiculous.
And your behavior is absolutely problematic when it comes to victims and their families, because you allow your chat to go wild with speculation and misinformation. You have gotten away with a lot of problematic behavior yourself.
Well, can you see that? Imagine that. I interview Letitia for my channel. I put it on the channel. Now, if you use that reason of thinking, then that would mean, that I'm okay with what Letitia did and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It just makes no sense. People interview murderers all the time. It doesn't mean that they're okay with what they did and they like them,
That is true. People do.
The lady that used to sit next to her, if you're talking about that Bella chick, not Bella in our comments right now, the Bella that used to sit next to her, wouldn't you know where she's at? Lana. And if you know, you know. Now tell me what you think about that.
Interview murderers all the time.
just hate.
I think the channel's Truth and Transparency. I don't know. She is a complete and utter nut job, in my opinion, because if you want wild, insane conspiracy theories that don't make sense, that just go in circles, that she has brought out, yeah, that's where she's at. Yeah. Yep.
When people get on me about stuff like that, but yeah, no, I would like to interview like all it. That's why I wanted to get into psychology, actually. Oh, Fabian Crouch. I know I've said this a million times, but the criminal mind, it fascinates me. So I would love to be able to interview all these murderers for these case I'm studying.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would just be so interesting to be able to do that. I'm sure a lot of you guys feel that way, but yeah.
This stood out to me a lot and kind of clicked things for me. It seems as though Zab Girl is more interested in the criminal behavior and the criminal mind of these people that commit these acts than she is about the victims and their families, or the real life harm that these vile murderers cause for so many people. She almost gets giddy while talking about the criminal behavior of these murderers. To me, there's more emotion in her talking about the murderers than there are about the victims and their families.
Wait, that would please her? Oh, yeah. I would have to have a game plan for her.
Look at the excitement that she gets in this discussion. At least there's some inflection in her voice finally.
Because we would expect her to feed me a lot of crap and play the victim. And so we would have to come up with a plan of like questions and ways like where we can't let her have the upper hand. So like where we could like somehow like play her, come up with some kind of plan where we play her, or does that make sense?
It's maddening when you think about the fact that Letitia probably is getting joy out of Zab Girl's stunt with the autopsy photos.
Wanderlust, yes.
I don't know. It'd have to be really planned out, because if not, she would just play me. I mean, she would just make up things. And
she murdered an 11-year-old child.
But yeah, I could truth seeker. It probably would have to start to write into her and then continue. I tried to write to Lori Vallow. She never responded.
And yes, I understand that there's a few true crime creators that do write to these criminals and do involve themselves in that way in hopes of getting an interview. In my opinion, this is the difference between true crime creators who are focused on a change for victims and their families and advocating for victims and their families throughout these horrific crimes, and creators who are focused on a self-serving mission for some sort of sensationalism or fame off of these tragedies.
You know how they have that I had the app. I think I deleted it because I didn't have any luck with it.
Sorry, y'all. Love wins. We're talking about the lady that used to co-host with Zab Girl all the time. Channel name was something Bella. I think that was her name. She is now hanging out with Lana over at Truth and Transparency. The one that spins all the insane, crazy narratives and ridiculous BS that has a 501c. Oh, love wins. If you don't know who that tragedy vulture is, oh my God. Now that's a deep hole. Beware, if you fall in it, you might fall head first in it. And she also is one that likes to do frivolous lawsuits, from what I've heard, allegedly. Bella used to sit next to, yes, Lisa, yes. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that's a whole ball game that I've stayed away from for a reason. Yes, yes. Yeah, Sheila's right. Okay.
What's it called? Where you could
isn't it wild though to see Zab Girls get so excited about writing to these people who have murdered children? I get that people like the criminal mind and they want to understand that, but she gets giddy thinking about it. And the fact that she wrote to Lori Daybell, by the way, for those of you that don't know, Lori Daybell just got charged in Arizona.
They could text and stuff, and they have like that iPad and stuff. Well, I
Yes,
think I did
she-
to Chad too, but I didn't expect Chad to write back. But I tried.
She wrote to both Lori and Chad. And once again, these are two individuals who did heinous acts to children.
Yep, there you
to
go.
message Lori, and I put $20 so then she could.
Let me rewind that for you guys just in case you didn't hear it. She said it herself. That's why I wanted to play this, because all this bullshit, the poor her, the victim BS. Bella was Zav's sidekick, love wins.
True crime creators who are focused on a change for victims and their families and advocating for victims and their families throughout these horrific crimes. And creators who are focused on a self-serving mission for some sort of sensationalism or fame off of these tragedies.
Because you know how they have that I had the app, I think I deleted it because I didn't have any luck with it. What's it called? Where you could like, so they could text and stuff, and they have like that iPad and stuff. Well, I think I did to Chad too, but I didn't expect Chad to write back. But I tried.
She wrote to both Lori and Chad. And once again, these are two individuals who did heinous acts to children.
To message Lori, and I put $20 so then she could message me back, because it costs like so much cents a message or whatever. So I'm like, well, she's not going to write back if she has to pay for it. So I put money on it for her to be able to write back to me, and she never did though.
Zab Girl claims that she graduated in 2009 and has a bachelor's in psychology. But even at that rate, I don't know if she would be classified or skilled enough to conduct this type of interview. But I guess, hey, whatever to get those clicks and views on YouTube, right?
Because I would like to talk to these people. Not because I like them or think they're, I agree with them, because I don't. I just would like to interview them. But anyway,
And once again, it's totally fine if you have an interest in the mindset of these murderers. I will never shame anybody for their curiosity about the mindset of these individuals, because I think it's different from each and every individual. But to use these tragedies for clicks and views and monetary gain on YouTube, and then completely disregard the victims and their families of these heinous crimes, is astounding to me. If you want to focus your channel around the mindset and the mind frame of these killers, then stop using the victims and their tragedies for monetary gain, because that's what we call of exploitation. Unfortunately, in my opinion, Zab Girl has that down pat, because I will remind you, unfortunately, Gannon isn't the first case that she has exploited for monetary gain. Kylie's family never even remotely got an apology. And every single one of those wildly speculated, over the top conspiracy theorist lives that they hosted, calling people horrible things, accusing people of heinous crimes, are still up on her channel, gaining clicks and views. And unfortunately, as many of you know, Kylie was the victim of a tragic accident. I've got a couple more clips that I want to share with you before I end this video. This live took place in November of 2022 during the Quentin Simon case out of Georgia.
It's just making me really mad. When I heard that, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I don't want to like talk about like drama, but this is like a part of this case. So in order to talk about this case, I feel like we have to address some of this stuff. And it sucks because I'm not one to I don't want to talk about like other creators, but they've interjected themselves and things are coming out about this that is very disappointing. And I have nothing against any of these people really, but I'm just disappointed in the stuff I'm hearing that's going on.
As many of you know, the Quentin Simon story got turned into a complete three-ring circus because of protesters going down to Savannah, Georgia. They absolutely took the focus off of Quentin while claiming that that's why they were there. It turned into nothing but a circus show, and Quentin was forgotten. And sadly, that's what always happens in stories like this. The victims are forgotten.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes, many of us do because we feel that frustration with you guys who spread misinformation, wild speculation, and exploit these victims' tragedies on the daily. Some of us feel that every single day because we have dedicated our time to calling out bad actors who harm these victims and their families. Unfortunately, you are one of many who exploit these tragedies.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Does anybody know what's kind of going on behind the scenes? Not just like, yeah, I know all you guys probably know about the protesters, but do you understand like some of why that's happening? Yeah, okay. You do? Like how some of it's like made up stuff that's purposely for entertainment, basically. I mean, you guys know that, right?
Sadly, there are many people just like Zab Girl who will do whatever it takes to get their faces on media to create havoc for some clicks and views on their YouTube channels. Not only was Quentin's story made into a complete mockery, but while they were in Georgia, they also pulled a death hoax on a Marine veteran by the name of Marvon McCray. There has been so many families and victims of people like Zab Girl who continue to sensationalize and exploit these horrific tragedies. Zab Girl, unfortunately, is just the face of a growing problem out here. It has become so easy for anybody to exploit a family's tragedy. I don't know what the ultimate answer will be, but I know that this continued behavior and just ignoring it, hoping that if we don't bring attention to it, less people will know, isn't working. It's time that these people are named and shamed because we cannot, as a society, let the families and the victims of these tragedies continue to be exploited for clicks and views and monetary gain on a social media platforms.
Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I can't do it. And I have nothing against this. I just found out about like what's been going on behind the scenes. Like, I have nothing against these channels. I really don't, but like, this is just wrong. I'm sorry. It's wrong. I can't.
It is extremely frustrating when people exploit victims' tragedies. And as I said previously, this is a growing trend and it is happening every single day. Zab Girl gave the standard PR, oops, I made a mistake. Let's forget about it now and move on. YouTube apology. Nothing more, nothing less. I personally have really no feelings about the apology because it's not for me. These apologies are empty when there's no action behind it. These people spread misinformation and wild speculation about these stories on the daily basis. Until we start becoming part of the solution and not part of the problem by overlooking the bad actors and the bad behavior, we will never see change. We will just get another PR apology. We have to set a higher standard of what we expect for YouTube creators, especially in true crime when they are harming actual victims. Thank you guys for watching.
All right. That was the end of that one. That video I did before. If you guys want to use anything from it, feel free to use it. I also want to get a list of all of the families together because we have people from like all over like different communities. And there's so many families that I don't even know about that have been harmed by creators and who they've been harmed by. I really want to get a list together. So tomorrow I'm going to make a community post. So if you can remember a family, I want it to do some sort of compilation video that highlights all the families because unfortunately we end up highlighting one here, one there, one here, one there when things like this happen to them. But there's so many that over time they get forgotten about too. And it's unbelievable. Now, do I think she should lose her platform? That's not up to me. That's between YouTube and her contract there. I think it's pathetic that she's more concerned about her income than anything else. There are so many victims of creators like this. And as you can tell, she didn't learn anything from it. She doesn't care. Yeah, we can't just sit back and be like, okay, well, whatever. She lost how many, like, she didn't even hardly lose any subs. If you think about it, it's gross. Like, we've got to do better. And the fact of it is these people that call themselves true crime, I cannot say this enough. These people are not true crime creators. Amethyst said it well time and time again. These are people who take news reports, not breaking news. YouTube creators are not breaking anything to you. Like that's not happening. Occasionally they might find something here and there. But they're not breaking you like this news. It's already been broke on the media. They are reviewing previously published content 9 times out of 10. They don't put any thought into it, and they're exploiting people's worst moments and making it into sensationalized BS. They pull out people who are even associated with these people and make them into potential suspects. These people don't go back and take their videos down when their cases are solved either. They leave them up. And how the algorithm works, it kicks them out occasionally. So you watch that video, you're going to think, oh, is Sammy, you know, what did Sammy do? What's Doberman Glory? I don't know what that is. I don't even know. Is that another app platform? I'll look into it. I've never heard of it. Yeah, it's gross. Wanderlust, I don't remember how many she had to begin with. I know I don't even think she lost 5,000. I really don't. I don't think she did. I think she lost a couple thousand and that's it. Get a petition. There is some petitions going around, but the sad thing is petitions, and I'll be quite frank, the petitions that I've seen done so far aren't going to work. With petitions, unfortunately, there has to be a plan of action. There has to be action steps. There has to be like follow through and intense like signatures on just kind of those forms usually don't do much. A couple thousand. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, she didn't lose many. But there has to be action plans behind it, like in steps to do it. I know that lawyer Mystery Maven wrote a form letter and shared it on her community tab. I reshared it on my community tab for like sending to legislature and things like that. There's no simple solution in this at all. There's none. Like there is not a one size fits all. But you have, like, look at the people that associate here too. Zab Girl, Tyler Feller, Jim Terry. I mean, the list goes on. The lady that used to sit on panel with Zab Girl, that Bella, now over with Lan, like the crossover. And they just keep doing it from case to case to case. I literally, every time a new case breaks, I sit in horror waiting, just knowing that these things, here we go. And you can always count on the ones that jump in right away and just start running with it. Dorman. Hey, Blank Slate. I'm like, I don't even know what this is. Yeah. Yes. Google is watching. And, you know, I hope she lost over 5K. Thank you, Kathy P. Yeah, she didn't lose many at all. She did not. And unfortunately, that shows a lot, though. But then you look at people like Ryan Upchurch. Ryan's got 3 million. Yes, some of it's because of his music, but he's out here making mockery out of the fact that a family of a victim is suing him. It's a never-ending cycle. The emails I've gotten asking for us to like help or to use our voices and stuff, I absolutely want to do. I'm one person though, and there are so many of them. Like I could literally do this without sleeping and never run out of content. That's how many people there are. Like I could do this 24/7 and call out just the misinformation and the bad behavior, just sticking to that by the content creator. There is endless potential. It is absolutely mind-blowing and it's horrifying because it's a growing problem. And those people get elevated, like their channels grow. People buy subs too, which is a problem. Yes, absolutely, Halo. Agreed. And until then, you know, we do what we can, name and shame them, put their names out there, let people know. People also need to start being okay with thinking for themselves. Like, that's really scary. People are losing complete common sense. I have some lady in my comment section about something else right now. And just the lack of even, people cannot hear, like if they're in one mindset, you cannot break them out of it. So it just becomes pointless to even say anything to those people. You just let them move on. But if somebody's got something in their head like, oh, Zab Girl's such a good person, they don't want to hear it. Okay, cool. But stop harming people and realizing that her behaviors do harm other people. A lot of people, unfortunately, until it happens to them, they don't even realize how problematic it is. Google is watching, I agree. Absolutely, love wins, 100%. Carol, yeah, of course. I do like Duty Ron. Even he's made mistakes though too, but at least he'll own it and apologize. That's what I appreciate about him. To be honest, I don't really watch many true crime creators on YouTube. I'll be truthful. I become more disappointed than I have impressed. But I'm a researcher too, so I like, if I hear about a case or something, I will go dig into it. I'm not a fan of the wild speculation and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, this is somebody's worst moments. And some creators do it very well, do it very ethically, and I like both sides of it too. I like the mind of the
Christ.
Dexter's
doing,
right.
man?
He was waiting for you.
Come
Dexter
on.
just got doored.
Come
He's
on.
okay. He's okay.
My bad, dog.
Yeah, Melissa, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. A lot of those big channels too. I can't. Here's the thing. I can't even give you a list. And the reason why I say that is because I've gone and like sought out different channels and stuff on YouTube to watch. And so far, I'm just not left like learning anything that I didn't know. Oh, Emily's great, but she sticks to like she's so freaking smart. It's unbelievable. I do like Stephanie Harlow. I do like Stephanie Harlow and Christina Randall too. I haven't watched them enough to say if they're factual though. That's the hard part too. It is, Marcy. It absolutely is. Yeah, Bella Ann. It's scary too. Yeah. And here's the other thing for me too. I will say, like, what I like in somebody isn't going to be what you guys like either. So I'm not trying to discourage you, tell you not where to. I will never tell you guys who to watch, who not to watch. I'm not made like that. I will never tell a bunch of adults who to support and who not to. I do try to highlight the people who I think are trying to do it ethically and morally. And here's the thing, at the end of the day, we're all human. Humans make mistakes. I've gotten things wrong, as you guys know, and had to correct things and set the record straight. It's that accountability and integrity that says a lot to me. It's not about being factual all the time, or the ones that have patience too, who will sit back and let things unfold and not come out here and run with wild speculation that hurts other people's, this hurts people. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I can't stand them, actually. I seem to have a plethora of, that's where I end up all the time though, like calling out the insane conspiracy theorists. Just seems to be something I love to do. Religion, faith manipulation, conspiracy theory, that's my forte. And somehow I ended up in an arena with a lot of those people around me. Don't know. Yeah, Spring Tea, I think she will too. I really do. But unfortunately, there's enough want for that dramatization and like wild, insane speculation, because I think it also makes people feel like they're a part of something. I don't know. Bailey, are you talking about Bailey Nana L? It's hard. Rabbit, yeah. Stifler's mom. Yeah, you guys can name them in the comments who you guys like. I'm not like I will be honest, I can't do the ones that are Krama. And a lot of these channels are Krama. I don't like that mixture. Separated on two different channels at least. Come on, people. Like, that's kind of weird to me. But we all have our things that we like and we dislike, right? Some people love that. Totally cool. Hold on, y'all. I got Kyle left the door open and the little one's moving. So yeah, you guys can tell. And some speculation, like, I don't know. I've been the first to talk about a few weird cases, and then once, like, I've talked about the Idaho 4 over here too. I talked about Alexi. I talked about that, but what I was trying to get across in those cases was empathy first. Like, leave the wild speculation at the door. Like, these are tragedies. No matter which way you look at it, it's going to affect a lot of people. Like that. That's kind of where I went. And then once I saw it snowballing, I backed right out. I am going to do, once I get settled in Arizona, I've talked extensively to Amethyst about this. I will be doing a missing persons channel, and just doing like once a month a deep dive into unhighlighted old missing persons cases, cold cases, ones that didn't get attention, and just trying to get attention onto names and faces that don't get the media attention that they deserve, and try to highlight some of those. So I will be putting some effort into content like that to try and make a difference, because we can call it out all day. It takes a ton of work to like go back through and watch this stuff, which is, I love it. I love doing that. Oh God, Spanky. D's nuts. Now, thankfully, he never did before. Now he just keeps his exploitation of summer. Well, no, he mixes it up too. Snug with Pug, thank you so much. I owe you guys some buttons. I just wanted to bring this. Oh, Emmy. Yeah, Emmy's doing great too. You guys, there's a lot of great. Is it just me? Not any specific, whatever I feel like covering. Yeah, Kathy, that's kind of what and the people that like kind of do the chroma too, they just highlight these insane cases too. Some of them, like, there's such a wide variety. That's why I refuse to like try to even figure out communities anymore, because it's all a mess. Right. Yeah. I know you're behind. You'll catch up whenever you hear that. Grizzly true crime is another one that people mention a lot too. I haven't invested a lot of time. I do my own content, and then like I end up listening to a lot of the bullshit, because you have to. If you're going to call it out, you have to listen to it, and you end up getting down those holes. So I watch more of the bullshit, to be honest, than I do the good stuff. So, oh yeah, Carol, I actually enjoy her too. But I've only watched a few things here and there. Yes, Red Door Woman. Thank you for bringing that up too. I actually grew up on an Indian reservation for a part of my life. So that's something that's dear to my heart too. I grew up on the Salish Kootenai Indian or Flathead Indian Reservation, which is Salish and Kootenai in Montana. That's where my whole mom's family is from. My mom was born and raised in Roni, and yeah, there's a lot of them and I wish there would be more. Like, it's so, all the women from Montana that are missing, women and men, within the different tribes, is absolutely horrifying. Like, when you start looking at the statistics, it's mind blowing. There's so many that people like, they don't even realize they're missing for a long time. It's wrong-o, not shocking. Yeah, see, everybody's got their own, like, what they look for in cases too. That's why. Bright, I know where you're at now. Yeah, Kathy, it's so hard to. And then I try to like wander out and support the people that support us to, like, try to help and like show up for other people. So I don't spend a lot of time, honestly. Like, Kyle and I watch TV, or we'll get into deep dives on stuff together. Oh, Love Wins. Don't even get me started on that. Wanderlust. Please check out my videos on her. You should see the misinformation that she did in the Marvon story. I just reshared it on my community post, I think last week. She also has been promoting this whole false narrative with the Sounds of Freedom for some kickbacks. Nope. And don't even get me started on the Sophie Long case, because I finally got a little bit more of the breakdown of that, and holy hell, LG does a lot of great. Elle is going to do great with her channel. Elle is doing amazing. Yes, another one. Yeah, you guys, I'm not trying to leave anybody out. I literally get brain fried of channels and I forget people, or I will mention somebody, like it's too much. So include anybody you want. I always feel like I'm missing so many. There's so many. Yep. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Bella Ann. We all make mistakes. I'm a human being too, but I'll wear those mistakes. And the sad thing is we really want change. It's really not that fucking hard to be a good person. It's really not. Yeah, Wanderlust, it's bad. Yeah, Carol. And then she puts sponsorship ads. Like she'll talk about a horrible crime scene with sheets being ruined and all this blood and gore. And then in the same breath, she's advertising for a sheet company and promotion or some shit like that. Somebody clipped it the other day and I got sent it. And I about fell over. Absolutely. Please do your homework on these people, y'all. There's so many wolves in sheep's clothing out here. It's really fucking not hard to be a good person. It's really not hard. Yeah, Nana L, I know. I'm the last person to ask to, because I don't want to like influence you. I will tell you who I think is great or who I know as of right now. But man alive, I've had to switch that around because somebody that I would like share before, there ain't no fucking way I'd share any ever again. But then again, to each their own. Like, you guys are entitled. You guys are adults. I ain't going to come out here and tell y'all, don't watch this person. Oh, there's so many. Yeah. That pisses people off when I start talking about her. Like, people get really bent out of shape, but it's because she's dolled up like the true crime sweetheart. And reality, she's no different than the rest of these guys. Yeah, it's really not that hard. Thank you, AK-47. I'm just your average asshole on the internet. Hey, YouTube Duckery that has, oh my God, Kathy P. Yes, I know. I'm so glad so many of you guys are like, I had no idea the history of a lot of these people. Oh, I really appreciate that, Bella Ann. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I can't help it. I've watched so much horror be done to so many families. And when I came into this, I had such a narrow vision of what I was looking at. And then it started unfolding. And I've been so thankful because I have literally been like walked through by some incredible people out here. Of kind of the bigger picture and my handheld, like really, like people have really shown up for me and kept me out of places and I have followed my gut a lot too. And I've had bubble guts a lot. Let's just say that, like, and thankfully too, life for me is a little wild as is. So I don't get caught up in a lot of that shit because I just don't play games like that. I don't talk about it just to talk about it. I want to see change come. So I'm not in the back end, fucking with people's lives and shit like that. I don't get down like that. I want to be a part. I have to be a part of the change I want to see. So me getting down dirty in the back end wouldn't make sense. Yeah. Plunder is okay. I don't have an opinion on her either on that one. I've heard a lot of people like her. I think I was upset with her because of her coverage of the Marvon story, but there were so many creators. Like, if I only broke that down of how many creators fucked that up on TikTok even and are still doing shit, it's like, it's crazy. You blame me, Queen Bella. I'm sorry. All right, y'all. It is past my bedtime. Marcy, you should have kicked me off then. We were we were trying to take, it's bulk pickup day here, which is a wonderful service. Once a month, they come around and they pick up like all these, anything big and bulky. You can put anything on the curb, furniture, everything. So where we're moving and we're getting rid of stuff, we had been taking stuff out. So we took out this big, like round spinny chair that I've had for 15 years. We're getting rid of furniture and stuff. And I was like, this is perfect. So we were getting all that out to the curb and I was like, oh, gotta go. Good night, Kathy P. Good night, y'all. Oh, thank you, AK-47. I appreciate that. Thank you, Coco. Y'all, in that live I played too, if you want that live to share to any of the clips in there, if you're a channel, please, please. Oh, Red Door Woman, thank you so much. And if you have a case that you would like me to highlight, Red Door Woman of the MMIW, please let me know. I would gladly do that. It will be probably September when I start doing that. I just want to help get awareness out there. But if there's cases that you would like me to look into or names, please let me know. Anybody. And I know I'm like, I have a lot of stuff that we need to get through. There's so many projects we need to finish, but we'll get through it. It just takes me a little bit. Thank you, Am. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all. Good night, Stargazer. Good night, Lisa. Good night, Bella. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that changes your entire view, Bella. And I just know I'm sending you hugs. I know that doesn't do anything, but I'm so sorry for what you've been through. And I hope at the end of the day, I somehow you have peace knowing that she's watching over. Good night, T. Thank you all for being here. Good night, Britt. Oh, I'm sorry, Britt. Go take some time out for you, Britt. Thanks, Michelle. Okay, see, I'm doing it again. Snug with a pug. Thank you. Oh, you guys, I'm going to play you out because I owe you buttons. Thank you all for joining the membership tonight. Thank you all for the super chats and super stickers. Y'all way too kind to me. So I'm going to play you music on the way out. And don't worry, yes, we're getting a new intro and buttons. I just got to get situated. I need a clone of myself. That would be a scary fucking sight, though, let me just say. Good night, y'all.
How do I say goodbye? Glad you came. Closing time.
Hit the road, Jack.
You don't have to go home, but make the best of this test and don't ask why. But you can't stay here.
Hit the road, Jack.
Good night.